Hey y'all, Bunkle here. Hope you've been having a great start to the new year. Happy New Year to all y'all, if I have not said it already. This video, I'm going to be opening up a couple packs. We got these Topps Jumbo 100 card packs here. Figure we'll start off the new year with some great vintage junk wax, junk as they call it. I don't know. I always call them vintage. I think that's a better word. They're more than 30 years old, and sure, they're part of what they quote-unquote call the junk wax era. Cards overproduced, miscut, all sorts of junk going on at that time. 87 is one of my favorite years, though. I do like the design, the style, the feel. It was also my I guess, first big time collecting cards, buying cards in rack packs and other packs. Was buying them by the box at that time. Always, of course, just looking for the McGuire, the Bo Jackson. Wally Joyner was a big one at that time also. Wally World was a great card to find. And of course, you had all of the, as they'd be seen, possible, potential, future Hall of Famers, like this one right here, Mr. Wade Boggs. There were other players, of course, that we thought would be, like Dave Steeb as an example, but he didn't make it, or Dale Murphy, who absolutely should be in the Hall of Fame. But you know what? I'm not a voter. I can't tell you. Anyway, let's get started with these. So there's 100 cards per pack, plus one special rookie card here. Collect all 22 in the set. Now, I also do know that in these packs, they do tend to be doubles, so hopefully there are going to be some doubles of some great cards, not scrubs. But we'll see exactly what's in here. Let's get started. Now, that gum looks really busted up there, so got to get that out nicely. Hope it didn't damage any cards in there, but you never know. Back in the days with gum and cards, you see my other videos, whether baseball, football, hockey, cards definitely damaged. Now, for anything good that I do find, I got my frappers ready. They're not invisible because I got a whole stack of them. Partially visible there. A little bit of a different background going on today also. Again, everything in transition as always. My life tends to seem to be always in transition one way or the other. There we go with John Denny will start off. Randy O'Neal. Cards are definitely nice and crisp, that's for sure. Steve Yeager. Oddibe McDowell, Lee Guterman, Tom O'Malley, Joe Niekro, Phil Niekro's brother. One in the hall, the other one not. Bob Boom. Rick Shue, Jeffrey Leonard, looking all wondering what the heck's going on. Why is he in the middle of this pack here? Mike Brown, Steve Balboni, great player. Not Hall of Fame, of course. Carl Best, and we got card flip there. Gene Mauch. Yeah, he definitely does not look very happy there. He's managing something, that's for sure. Oral Hershiser. Gene Nelson. Jerry Willard. Rick Aguilera. Luis Quinones. Mike Davis. Those big old glasses on him. Ricky Wright. Jim Beattie. Ron Oyster, Mike Lacaus, Billy Semple, Craig McMurdy, Gary Reedus, Brian Downing, Gary Templeton, Otis Nixon. Looks real angry there. Looks really ticked off. I don't know, maybe it's because he's got the Indians hat on, not the Guardians hat, where he knows that they're going to be called the Guardians sometime in the future, and he don't like that. Got Kent Herbeck. Danny Tartable. That would have been a nice one to find back in the day. He just goes into the regular stack now. Tom Paciorek. Roberto Clemente. Turn back the clock card. I mean, for lack of anything better, that one will go up on there. I don't know if I'll frapper that one, though. Got the Royals leaders. Eric Shaw. Jeff Robinson. Darrell Porter. Garth Jorg. Juan Nieves. Craig McMurdy. Gary Reedus, Harold Baines, Hall of Famer there. I guess I'll put him in a good stack. Put him on the side for right now. Craig Lefferts, Steve Lake, Dave LaPointe. Got the Braves leaders. They look all happy right there. Harold Reynolds, Mr. Donnie Baseball, Don Mattingly, and followed up by a Kirby Puckett. Now that Donnie Baseball, except for right to left, that centering looks pretty good. That right to left is pretty nasty, though. Top to bottom looks fine compared to the Kirby, where top to bottom you could obviously see that top is real slim compared. Either way, I will put both of those in frappers. There we go. Now, let's get those up in a frapper here. And you know what? I'll put the Bobby Clemente in a wrapper frapper as well. Mr. Kirby Puckett. Now, as I was saying, I do hope that y'all have started the new year with a bang. Great. I believe 2023 is going to be better in a lot of ways. It's going to be different. It's going to be better, worse. But everybody has those times. One day to the next, you never know exactly what's going to go on. That's a specialty of life, I guess. All right, we got 4 out of the first stack of 50. Let's slide that stack to the side there. Getting part number 2 going there. Sorry about that. A little interruption. I'm going to try to keep the gum so it don't end up going on the table. That would not be very nice. And, of course, that's where it falls. So I got to get rid of it. All right, my first 30-year-old gum for 2023. No crunch to it. Just kind of dissolving into powder in my mouth here. Anyway. Ooh. Definitely need to drink something. That's like solid powder there. Now you can figure out how something could be solid powder, but anyway. Now, if you're into finding baseball cards of value or whatever it might be, there's a few in this set, of course, a few that you might pop out of packs, that if they are in a PSA 10, they definitely are worth a nice little bit of change. The Barry Bonds, of course, about 150, 200 bucks on that. Pirates leaders, believe it or not, the checklist, number 1 to 132, and mainly because of centering, and we used to mark those up badly. Then you got a couple commons, but again, centering issues on a lot of these cards. Rick Anderson and Larry Sheets, Mike Kingery, followed up by Darryl Strawberry, Ed Lynch. Expos leaders, the Mattingly card, all of those are over 100 bucks in PSA 10. The Mariners leaders, even Fernando Valenzuela, Mike Maddox, the Dwight Gooden All-Star card without the trademark or with the trademark. Both carry a little bit of value, and Lenny Dykstra. There's a few others, but those are the main ones. Mike Schmidt, Hall of Famer, is about 100 bucks also in a 10. After that, they kind of drop down. But again, finding a PSA 10 could be a bit tough. Got Juan Nieves as the 1986 rookie. That's what the back looks like. Says nothing, does nothing. Starting off with Willie Upshaw, Rick Cerrone, Alvin Davis, Kevin Gross, Jim Leland, Vance Law, Alvaro Espinosa, Scott Fletcher, Bob Stanley, Sal Butera, Jesse Barfield, Bobby Valentine. He's actually looking happy there as a manager. Not used to seeing him look happy at all. Usually nowadays he's just a grump. Tim Tuffle, Mike Easler, Jack Howell, Dave Gumpert, Jim Sundberg, Rob Woodward, Gary Carter, Hall of Famer card there. Again, centering issues, top to bottom, right to left. Excuse me there. Oh, I think the gum dust definitely giving me a sniffle. Got Hubie Brooks. There goes the Mike Schmidt. Now, again, that's what I was talking about as far as centering. That would not get a 10 with that kind of centering. Right to left isn't bad. Top to bottom, it's horrible. Got Dickie Knowles, Larry Parrish, Danny Cox, Dwight Lowry, Indians leaders. Well, looks like somebody's getting taken out of a game there. Go home, kid. Tom Hume, a pair of glasses on him also. Rags Rigetti, Jerry Royce, Steve Carlton, Hall of Famer. I remember the debate back in the day over who was the better overall pitcher, him, Ryan, him, Ryan, him, Ryan. Of course, Seaver thrown into the mix. Lefty there. Al Polito, Donnie Hill, Mark Weisman, Rudy Law, Roger Craig. Looks hopeful. Looking towards the future. He could see 2023 off in the distance. Charlie Moore, Dave Kingman. Now, of course, that to me is probably the best scented card we've found yet. John Morris, Otis Nixon. He's looking upset again. Kent Herbeck. Looks like we got some repeats here. Danny Tartable. Indians leaders. Two of the same card in the same pack. All right. Tim Flannery. Rags Rigetti again. Wallace Johnson. Gorman Thomas. Andres Thomas. Gene Walter. Ken Lendro. Ooh. Nice. Centering is bad, though. Top to bottom as well as right to left. Right to left isn't as bad, but top to bottom, it's a bit shady there. That's a shame because that would have been a really nice card in a 10. Anyway, we will frapper that up. I'll keep him front and center. Get a couple more frappers going for the Carlton. Schmitty deserves a frapper, that's for sure. Put Schmitty over there next to Roberto Clemente and Gary Carter. So getting some nice Hall of Famers out of here, that's for sure. Wish they were better centered. As I've mentioned in a couple of the videos, I'm getting set to send in a few cards, and I'll go through it in another video. Either PSA, SGC, or one of the other grading companies. Time to definitely get a few graded, whether for the personal collection or to bounce out via my eBay shop. Now, hopefully this Wade Boggs on top has not been... Nope, the gum slides right off, but what a really bad gum stain there. Sorry, with that kind of gum stain, Wade, you deserve a spot on the wall, but you can't get one with that. That just looks horrible. I can't show you off. I'll throw you to the side. Sorry, dude. All right, going with Mike Mason. And that card's all bent up also. Well, it happens. Alan Ashby, Ron Washington, Scott Terry, Clint Hurdle, Lance McCullers, Mike Smith's son. So if that's Mike Smith's son, who's Mike Smith? That's the question. Jay Howell, Darrell Boston. Big old glasses there. I don't know why I'm on a glasses kick today. Howard Johnson, Hojo. Rich Yett. Dick Schofeld. Doug Corbett. Greg Gagne. Bill Duran. Hal Lanier. Dusty Baker. Tim Raines. Got Rock Raines. Nice. Keep that on the side there. Bob Kipper. Bob Sebra. Kevin Bass. Enos Cabell. Bob James. Mariners leaders, Bobby Bonilla. Could have been the Barry. I mean, that one's not too badly centered. Jim DeShays, Jimmy Rice, All-Star. Eckersley. Now, it's funny, one should be in the Hall of Fame, the other one questionable, but anyway, I don't vote. Chris Bosio, Ray Quinones, Ron Karkovice, Richard Dotson, Lee Mazzilli, Storm Davis, Brian Dayette, Scott Bradley, Darnell Coles, Rags Rigetti again, Jerry Royce, Carlton, okay. Let's frapper him up. Al Polito, Bob Denier, Glenn Hubbard, Quisenberry, that wind up and pitch there. Complete sidearm, underground. Canseco, and that's a nicely centered one too. That's a great card. Got the Cubbies leaders. Got Ron Say, and well, I guess that's Steve Trout there, because we know that's not Mike Trout. Mike Trout's not on the Cubs, and was not around in '87, playing any kind of baseball, I don't think. Bobby Grich, Bill Mooneyham, and Tom Herr. So let's get those frappered. That Canseco is definitely a nice card. I know that would have been one of the other chase cards. I mentioned McGuire. Can't forget Canseco during those days. That was the Bash Brothers. Got Carlton. I'll put the Carlton right on top of the other Carlton. We'll save some space on this wall of fame. Eckersley. I don't even look at that. I'm just throwing it around. Gonna have to figure a wall of fame with double stacks or something like that, because I don't want to cover any of these up. But when you're going through a couple hundred cards during these times, well, you're going to come up with a bunch of Hall of Famers there for a wall of Famers, as well as other great players. I mean, I'll throw Darryl Strawberry up there as well. I really enjoyed his style of play and a lot of the stuff he's doing post-career. He cleaned up his act. He cleaned up his life. That's great stuff. All right, part number 4 here. Let's see what, who, where we got. Toss that off to the side somewhere. I don't even have my trash can set up next to me today. I definitely should. All right, we're starting it off. Will the Thrill Clark, 1986 rookies. That's a nice one. Ted Simmons, Omar Moreno, Speedster. Teddy Higuera, Mariano Duncan, Mike Felder, Mike Smith's son. Again, I asked that question before. If this is Mike Smith's son, who is Mike Smith and where is he? Looks like he's wondering also. Jay Howell, Cecil Fielder, big time slugger, Japan for a bit, Eric King, Tim Conroy, Butch Weiniger, used to call him Vinegar, Joe Carter, John Mizrock, Ozzie Geegan, Jerry Naron, Gino Petralli, Tom Niedenfuer, Bill Schrader, Julio Franco, that bat up all the way over his head, Rick Dempsey, Dale Murphy, great player. Again, mentioned he should be Hall of Fame, but who am I to say? Kurt Wilkerson, Mookie Wilson, Jamie Quirk, Roger McDowell, Gary Matthews, Pat Dodson, the future star. Yeah, well, I guess that prediction didn't turn out too well. Rick Anderson. Now, the Rick Anderson, if I'm not mistaken, let me take a look. See, I got my screen up here next to me. Yeah, believe it or not, in a PSA 10, this common player card, okay, and this one, you know what? Centering's not bad. It looks a little bit off left to right and top to bottom, so that's unfortunate. But this one must be a real tough one as far as centering. Looking at the PSA website, there's only one sale ever found in a PSA 10 for $134.50. So that's pretty wild. Got to wonder, I don't know about the pop report on that, but if there is only one PSA 10 in existence, well, looking at this centering, I can imagine why, if a lot of cards are cut that way. Doyle Alexander, the White Sox leaders, Atley Hammaker, Mike Lloyd, got the Giants leaders there. Ooh, there we go. That's a nice one. Centering is nice on that, too. Centering is real nice there. Ooh, you definitely get a frapper. I got a shell for you. Jim DeShays, Tony Gwynn, great Hall of Famer card there. Carney Lansford, John Henry Johnson, Carlton Fisk, another Hall of Famer. Jeff Reed, Bobby O, Lou Whitaker, Dave Parker, another one should be Hall of Fame. Mark Langston, Bob Melvin, Gary Lucas, Eric Davis, Scott Nielsen, Scott Bales, Dwight Evans. All right, let's get some frappers going. So this was fun. First pack opening, or packs opening that I've done this year, 2023. I don't know when you're going to be seeing this. I know when I'm filming it. I know when I'm putting it together. Don't know when it will be published, but definitely sometime first week January 2023. This is definitely a fun pack opening. I'm glad I did too, because I would not have seen Matt Barry in here if I had not opened the second pack. Where's my shells? All right. Just standard top loader for right now, and I'll probably transfer that out later. I'm going to take that under the scope just to check the corners on there and use the centering tool to confirm. But yeah, that looks really nice. That actually looks really good. That looks gradable. So to me, that's the start of the bunch. Barry in a 10 is, as I mentioned, somewhere around $200 if you can find one, and this might be one. So we will see. I will keep you posted. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Y'all take care. Stay well, stay blessed, and happy 2023. Bunkle out.